Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the Registered Ranching Podcast, where cows, humor, and a little bit of cowboy wisdom collide. I'm Tucker Brown, sharing stories from the ranch and a TikTok every now and then. We're here to keep the ranch in the family and the family in the ranch. So, let's saddle up. 51?
51.
Episode 51. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Registered Ranching Podcast. Woo, dang, 51. Feels like we just turned a new leaf.
We did.
We just made it.
To the big leagues.
Are we official now?
We are.
It's like we moved into another big league. Nobody's told me that. I think it's just mental.
Yeah.
Just mental. Tucker Brown, Michael Scott Stevens here with you behind the mics today, and a special guest. He's gonna teach us a lot today. Mostly because he knows all the things. He's in and out of the cattle market. He buys cattle. He's a dad. He's a TCU grad. Sucker's roped more pounds of cattle than you've ever eaten, Michael. Okay,
Dang.
You hear that? Eating in that. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Hunter Crow. Welcome in, dude. I'm glad to have you.
Tucker, thank you for having me on. Like I always said about the Browns, they're salespeople and they're good at it.
That's right. Hey, so did I say it right? Cattle buyer.
Yeah.
Would that be your number one gig?
Yeah, that'd be our main business.
Main business.
I work for Jason Harlow at Harlow Cattle Company, and our primary business is trading feeder cattle and trading calves, and so that's kind of what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Boy, you in and out of that market all the time, huh?
We are. We're a part of it whether we want to be or not, so.
Yeah, and gosh, it's funny how these things work out, because last week, this cattle market thing kind of got interesting, didn't it? We won't start there. Let's not start.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought we were going to avoid that.
Yeah, well, man,
no one wants to talk about that now.
Yeah, it's controversial, but we'll get there in a second. Let's start out with Hunter Crow. Grew up in Dallas, and now you're working with Jason Harlow, buying cattle all across the country probably. And I know you've bought some of our cattle before. You probably know the market. I'm jealous of the way you know the market. I'm not jealous of how much time you spend in it, but I am jealous of how much you know about it.
Sometimes you think you know it until you don't. But yeah, so Jason and I are the cattle buyers from Dallas. I was born and raised in Dallas. My dad actually was from outside of Waco, went to Texas A&M on a rodeo scholarship, got out in the early 80s when ag was terrible, couldn't get a job, ended up going to law school and moved to Dallas. And so that's where I was raised. But that was kind of the thing your dad always did that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it was always in my blood, and we have ranches in Hunt County and then in Palapena County. And so ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be outdoors. And the older I got, the more I wanted to be in the cattle business. And then when my dad was when I was in high school, my dad got introduced to Jason Harlow through a mutual friend he had, Stephen Swan, and Jason was running quite a few wheat pasture cattle at the time and starting to trade quite a few cattle, and my dad got in with them, and they were running cattle for a while, and then he bought a grow yard and a farm in the Panhandle and kind of started doing some of it on his own, and they got in with Jason and Pat got in with Don McCauley. And my dad and Don have partnered for years and years now, and went to TCU, got a finance degree, and then my 5th year went to ranch management.
Come on.
Where I met the one and only Tucker Brown.
Come on.
Feel lucky to be in your presence. And when I got out, Jason hired me right out of school, and we were laughing. We were talking about it the other day. He took me to M&M Steakhouse, which burned down, but it was in the stockyards. It was kind of a dumpy old.
I'd never been to that one.
Oh, it was special.
Where is it? Or where was it?
It was kind of north of Exchange.
Huh.
Kind of north of.
But burned down.
Yeah, and it burned down, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, dang.
Jason was pretty upset. That was our go-to spot, but we were laughing because I said, he never asked me what my GPA was. Never asked me what my major was. Never asked for a resume or nothing. We went there and
Plucked you out.
finished our interview at the Longhorn afterwards. And
Was that after TCU? Or like kind of
it was kind of right when we were in TCU.
Yeah.
And I said, well, let me think about it. He offered me a job, and I said, well, let me think about it. And, I was kind of all giddy, and I was like, but you got to play hard
Gotta
to
play the
get.
game, yeah.
And so I called him the next day. I said, I believe I'll take it.
Yeah.
And it's been great ever since. So,
Stayed there ever since.
yeah.
I'll be dang. So a finance degree, did you plan on, what made you do that?
Going into school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And, business all boils down to numbers.
Yeah.
And so I knew if I got a finance degree, I could kind of do whatever I wanted to. And, I'm glad I did it, but really the most impactful thing I did in 5 years was TCU ranch management.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's an unbelievably great program.
Yeah.
I mean, it transformed my life.
Yeah, it changed the way I think.
Yeah.
Ever since then.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I can't say enough great things about it. So I recommend it to everyone I know. And I've actually had several kids, the little Christian school I went to in Dallas, called the Episcopal School of Dallas. Several kids have gone through it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Follow in your footsteps.
Yeah, that's
I'll
right.
be dang. Well, that's cool. Well, let's just start at TCU. Like you said, great program. Did you want, is that why you went to TCU? Or was that kind of a one that came about later?
It was a big factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, because I always knew if I went there, I could go to ranch management.
Yeah.
And then the more I got deeper into TCU, I knew I was going to do it. We college rodeoed a couple years, for TCU as independents. And then more and more I got into it. I started running stocker cattle with my cousins and different things like that. And so by the time I was ready to get out of TCU, I was ready to go to ranch management.
And that was a blast.
We had a good time.
That's I feel like there's more competition in that region now as far as ranch management schools.
Yeah, definitely.
Texas Tech started one. You still have King Ranch. You still have Clarendon's, TCU's. Now there's one at like Montana State. And I'm sure there's more, but I don't know of any others.
But I was talking to someone about it just the other day, and I said the niche of TCU is that, like, Texas Tech is a 4-year degree. The King Ranch is a 2-year master's program. And TCU, it's 9 months for someone to take off, and you get a wealth of knowledge. And you get a lot of exposure to different facets of the industry.
Yeah.
Like when I got out of school, Jason Harlow wasn't feeding very many cattle, and I had just enough knowledge to be dangerous. And we kind of figured it out, and using some of that knowledge from TCU, build on it. And now we own a 30,000 head feed yard, and we keep quite a few cattle on feed, and it's a big part of our operation.
That's a lot of numbers.
Yeah, it's a lot of numbers, a lot of money now.
Yeah.
But
what do they? Well, let's look at this. If we were to put a number to TCU, what do they say? 60 for those 2 semesters, 60,000 you would spend.
Yeah.
Which, if you do your job by going to school at all, there is help.
Yes.
There is some scholarship opportunity. A lot of
scholarship opportunity.
If you do your job and go to school. And,
Yeah.
do your thing. So let's say 60,000. What's a bred cow selling for right now?
Golly.
4.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
We'll go on the low end. 4,000. And so 15 cows. If you're planning on being in the industry for longer than 15 cows.
Yeah. Oh, it's a huge difference. And I mean, just think
when you
about
put the numbers to it that way, it changes.
Just think about if you figure out how to put 50 pounds more on a calf that she's weaning at $3 a pound, just rough figuring.
$150
a head. I mean,
yeah.
It doesn't take all that many to, and then figure up if you figure out how to get another 10% breed up and get that,
Yeah. Or if you're a yearling man and you have, that 50 pounds turns into however many thousands of cattle that you've got on feed.
Yeah. Oh, it's huge.
Quick. Adds up real quick.
Yeah. And, that's one thing that I've learned so much from the feed yard. We bought it and expanded it and put a flaker mill in and a micro room and all of that is just how efficient you have to be at every aspect of it. And it's 100 little things you do that make you, the best.
Yeah, that is, drink went down the wrong pipe. Oh, dang. That is one thing I'm not jealous of. I mean, we kind of do have a quote-unquote feed yard where we're at. But thankfully, we're not paid based on pounds and efficiency in that way.
Yeah.
So we don't have to, obviously, do we want to be efficient? Yes. But a feed yard has to be efficient to the pennies.
Yes.
It appears.
Yeah.
Looking from the outside and doing TCU and talking to those guys like yourself. But, gosh, we just got to get them fed.
Yeah.
We've got to get them fed the right ration. That's why we have LNC. And then we just have to do the job of getting them there.
Yeah. Yeah, but you want them done right when they're bringing what they're bringing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we just averaged
so.
12,500 head, 12.7.
Wow.
That's all right.
That's pretty good payday.
Yeah. So somebody looking to get into the industry, I always say TCU, but when someone tells you, why should they go to TCU rather than go straight to work? How do you answer that?
Oh man, that's a tough one. There's a lot of reasons. Just the wealth of knowledge you get out of it, but then, to me, I think the most important thing is the network. Just you pick up the phone and you can call whoever you want to, and they'll answer. And I had a guy that's in this year's class call me the other day, and we talked for an hour about, he was trying to figure out how much can you spend on a bull, and I was like, man, you picked the wrong person since we're not in the bred stock deal. But, we just kind of walked through it, and I looked down, and I talked to him for an hour, one Saturday morning, and I'm like, man, and was more than happy to. Yeah. And every person who's graduated from TCU is like that. They'll do anything in the world for you.
Well, do you have a secret potion for pricing a bull, or for knowing how expensive of a bull to buy? We're always looking for those,
Well, he gave me the formula. I think he said, you can pay like 5 steer calves is kind of the rough ballpark. And then we did the math, and it came out to this was before the market fell out, but, you could pay like $15,000.
Yeah.
And then but then we were talking through it, and I was like, I bet you can probably buy one cheaper, than that. Yeah. But you kind of know, that's your parameter. And
that's pretty much a rule of thumb we go by.
Yeah.
The market times a 600-pound calf times 5.
Yeah.
5 weaned calves or 2 finished steers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 3. Is it 3? 3 finished steers.
Yeah. Probably be 3 finished steers.
3,500-ish right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but he kind of gave me a little information, and we just talked back and forth, and I was asking him, I think we were talking about your sale.
Yeah.
And he was like, I think they average, 12,000, and I was like, man, you can probably buy them a little cheaper than 15, but you can give that if you have to. But,
sure.
For those good R.A. Brown genetics.
Come on, I didn't even pay him for that. Hey, you've bought the cattle before.
Yeah, and honestly, y'all's cattle have performed exceptionally well for us, so I just can't afford them most of the time.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's a good thing and a bad thing, right?
Yeah, it's a great thing.
Because we'll get that. Sometimes we'll get that on our bull sales. Like, yeah, your bulls are great, but I can't afford them, and then they don't show up. And then, like this time, we had some Sim Angus bulls go for 6,000. 6,500, 7,500, which still sounds high, but based on the market, 5 weaned calves. 12 to 15,000, and you're like, I can buy one for 7,000 and still get the same customer service. Like, yeah. I know we average 12.7, but that means you got some below it too.
Yeah,
and so that's what we're always trying to share, is that we do have expensive bulls. We do, and we don't make that price. It's an auction, right? So I don't know,
but it's a testament to the product y'all are selling. I know you do a great job, and people come back and buy them every year because they like what they're getting out of it.
That's the hope. Just didn't start with me. That's the whole truth. It's not because of me. I just don't plan on it ending with me.
No, don't be that one.
Yeah, I don't plan on it ending with that.
Hey, if it is, we'll blame it on Lanham.
Oh, okay, easy. There we go. There we go. I need more friends like you, Hunter. So life as a cattle buyer. I feel like there's not many. I feel like that's a shrinking industry.
It definitely is. That's what I told somebody. I mean, you look around at our competitors, and they're not even gray haired. It's falling out. You know.
Yeah.
When you've been in it long enough, you start to understand why. But yeah, there's not many of us left. So we would be our main deal is trading, yearlings like coming off wheat or grass. That's kind of our bread and butter. We'll trade a lot, in this area, up towards Seymour and the Panhandle. Surprisingly, one of the biggest states I trade out of is Mississippi.
Really?
It's unbelievable how many yearling operators are down there.
You get any from Alabama?
Yeah, we trade some cattle.
LA?
Yeah, we do. We got a guy that works with us that carries our checkbook, partners with us, Cole Johnson, and he went to school in Auburn and married a girl from outside of Auburn, and
War Eagle.
that's right. And
He's a Roll Tide guy.
yeah. So and he has quite a few connections back there. So we trade quite a few out of Alabama and Georgia and.
They live like up near Montgomery, kind of.
Yeah, she's from right outside of Auburn.
Okay.
So he kind of works that area, and I don't know the state super well, but most of those cattle come from right around there.
Yeah, Opelika and stuff.
Yeah, quite a few from Opelika, and so.
Is there a generality when it comes to different states on what those cattle are expected to be like?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You can drive around a feed yard and look at a set, and you'll be like, you can tell they're Mexicans. A lot of Charolais cross influence, and then Arizona's. You can kind of drive by them because they'll look like Mexicans, but they won't have the M brand. And then when you get to the southeast, sometimes the health can be a little tough coming out here on a home raised deal. But I mean, some of the best closeouts I've had have been put together cattle out of Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. That are a true yearling. They've kind of knocked all the health problems out. Some of the worst deals I've had have also come out of those states, but some of the best feeding cattle have come out of there. They're an agier type animal. Pastures usually not quite as good, and so they have a little condition. And I still can't explain it because I know they're not buying very many R.A. Brown bulls. So the genetics aren't there, so it's just got to be the age on them. But man, they sometimes will just blow your mind how well they perform.
It's a flip of a coin.
It's a coin flip. It always is. So
It is funny how that generality, how the different breeds and types can give you an idea of where they're from.
yeah. I mean, then you go to Florida, and typically your health's better out of Florida. But the state had developed kind of a vaccination program
Yeah.
20 or 30 years ago. And, moving cattle very far is usually hard on them unless they're a pretty hard yearling. So, and most cattle are grazed kind of Texas, Oklahoma.
So I'm sure you buy a little bit of everything, but if you had to pick your perfect animal to buy, what do they look like? Say you can get your price on them, the price you want on them, what do they look like?
Honestly, I mean, something that comes from a reputable breeder like y'all, or these genetics really do make a difference. It's just sometimes I think the market is really high on them.
Yeah.
A lot of times on the home raised deals or whatever, you have people who buy them every year. I got a customer of mine who buys some cattle off a ranch in the Texas Panhandle, and he said Dad buys them every year. They're the best Charolais crosses you've ever seen, and he pays way too much for them, but we just buy them every year because we buy them every year.
I'll be dang.
The old school thought.
Yeah.
But these, I'm interested. I bought a few open heifers off of the 4-6's ranch.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of curious to see how they
See what
perform.
that
But
performance is.
they were good.
Yeah.
And so, it seems like these ideal is kind of this central Texas area has really, really good cattle. And, the only thing about the home raised is sometimes you get naive sets that you have health problems on, but
By naive, they just hadn't seen
Yeah.
many problems, many
You
stress
know,
situations.
yeah, and it's always hard for me to tell, like, you get into certain places in New Mexico and you're playing with fire, and kind of Southwest Texas, just big ranch country. They keep heifers. They may even keep and raise their own bulls, and so those cows just don't have that immune system that somebody in East Texas who has stalkers, from their
All
neighbor's
around 'em.
place or whatever. Yeah. So, but it seems like right in here, kind of this, west of Fort Worth to the Panhandle is big enough ranch country where you can get, some loads put together, and then, but your health is still pretty good.
I mean, they do call Throckmorton the capital of cow country.
That's right.
That's what they call it. We don't have a big statue of a longhorn or whatever that thing is for
For
no
nothing.
reason. Yeah, you always come from the east. You don't see it. I'm sure you've seen it before.
Oh, yeah, on the
but
Clark's Ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, out there.
How could you miss it?
No joke. I just, yeah.
That's what I laugh about coming from Dallas, though. I texted you and I said, is the saddle house on the ranch? And you said, no, it's under the stoplight. In Dallas, you'd have to specify which one.
stoplight?
You don't have to. You don't have to in Throckmorton.
The one stoplight.
Yeah,
Was it easy to find?
it was easy to find.
Dang right. Oh, gosh. Well, so if you had to describe your job to someone who didn't know what a cattle buyer was, I mean, it's kind of in the name, but also like what, gosh, is it MC? Not MC. What's that cattle buyer we went to while we were at TCU?
Oh, EC, Ellison
EC.
Carter.
Would you be similar job or different?
Yeah, I would be.
Describe those two.
So Ellison, he trades country yearlings like we do, but
Yeah.
that's not his primary focus. He's primarily an order buyer. So Ellison has 20 or so guys that go to 4 or 5 sales a week each, and he buys out all these sales, and they sell cattle one at a time here, and they'll buy, have an order for 4 weight, kind of 1.5 heifers, and he'll buy 5 here and 8 there, and he'll put together a load and send them to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I do some of that. It's not a big part of what we do. It's a growing part. But yeah, I mean, like Ellison would be somewhat of a competitor. I mean, and we compete on deals up here.
Yeah.
But so we mainly trade country cattle. So everything would come off the ranch versus the sale barn.
Buy any off a video, Superior?
Yeah, we'll buy a few off the video. We were feeding some natural cattle. We were feeding gap cattle and all that at our feed yard. Most of those we'd source from Superior, Northern, or Western, or something like that. But then most of it's, we have 8 or 10 guys that carry our checkbook that are signers that live. Got Jason Griffin in Atoka, Wesley Wood in Stephenville, Blake Birdwell and Kevin Shaw, and Ty Grimsley in the Panhandle, Blake Rogers in Mississippi. I know I'm going to forget 1 or 2. We got Eli Hall. He kind of helps us in the office, but then trades out of South Texas some. And then Tony and Cade Setzer, they live in Weatherford, Oklahoma. And so those guys have relationships with all these stocker operators.
Yeah.
And so, like, is Matt, he's a stocker operator.
Yep,
So,
oh,
like,
for sure.
Matt would call,
Bella?
oh, and then I'll tell you who I forgot, it's the one right here, Don McCauley. I know I was
yeah.
going to forget somebody. But, like, Matt would be like, okay, I got, 5 loads of 800-pound steers. I want to ship in, March, coming off of wheat, and this is the quality. Well, he'd call Don, and they'd kind of visit about, delivery windows and weights and all of that. And then Don, now we handle most of it over text, and he'll send me a couple of videos of them and, have a 5 loads, 800-pound steers, Matt Bella, wheat only, this ship window. And then he'll say he's asking this, and I'll go to work, offering them to these different guys we sell cattle to. And so most of it comes from those guys that carry our checkbooks. And then I got quite a few independent guys, some guys that own sell barns and stuff like that have guys that want to trade yearlings or forward contract or something like that kind of, like like Mike Arnold, he trades quite a few in the country, just private treaty. And so, we'll have those guys, and then I'll have quite a few other guys that offer us cattle too.
It's funny how, the yearling, I feel like there's more lingo in the yearling business than there is in any part of the cattle business.
Don't let anyone fool you. It's not that much harder. You just time the market right.
Oh, I agree.
You just buy them and keep them alive and time the market right. It's easy.
But it's easy. That's why there's so many that do it.
Yeah.
But at TCU, I learned it. I grew up in it, and I thought I was pretty fair in the lingo. And then you get in and you start talking like, man, we got 4 loads of 1.5 coming off wheat, and I'm like, 1.5 what? Have you heard all the descriptions of cattle that is used? It's really not hard. It's just that we're pretty ignorant to them. We don't hear about them.
For it.
Well, you've only been around number ones in your life. Didn't even know there was such thing as a 1.5.
Yeah. Wait, they don't castrate some steers? Wait, it's not a steer?
Yeah.
Dang Alabama calves.
Hey, roll tide.
Roll Tide.
Yeah.
But there is a
y'all
lot
provide
of lingo.
opportunity for people.
That's what it is, an opportunity. But there is a lot of lingo. And the budgeting of that industry, that segment of the industry, feels like the most budgeted. Because cow-calf, I feel like there's maybe half the people know what their what their break even is.
Yeah, most of these guys kind of know because they live it.
Yeah.
And everyone that dies, they're like, oh man, that's $2,500 right there. And
Yeah.
raise your break even. But, I've always said I could send you the break even I use, but like I've always said, it's the art of it, and it's also the only way to learn it's the hard way. Mm-hmm. But, is what's your death loss? What's your average daily gain?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that hard.
What do you think the biggest misconception that people have of cattle buyers is? Or is there one?
Oh, the buyers that buy from me always think we don't sort on them hard enough, and the sellers think we never get them enough money. But you are in
a tough spot.
Yeah.
That margin business.
I told a guy the other day, I was like, he said, man, he's not afraid to price them. He used an explicit in there, but I said, I don't know what they're worth. I said, if that tells you anything, and I said, he's just pricing them off, Oklahoma City or El Reno, and he said, well, tell him to send them there. They're too high for me.
I guess that's all you can do.
And my thing too is and I'll tell guys this all the time. I've always said, if you can get more money somewhere else, there's no sense in me doing it.
Go do it.
But like right now, I can do it cheaper than anyone else. Someone can buy them from me cheaper than they can buy them off Superior, and I can, market them for someone else higher than if they have to pay the 2% commission on Superior. And so there's kind of a little niche in there and I can do it any day, Saturday, Sunday,
Yeah.
I told someone we're almost kind of a market maker, for people trading yearlings or calves or whatever. You can call, the board runs up $9 a hundred. You can call me and we can get them sold, that day.
What's the board doing today?
Ooh, it was bad.
It was bad. I looked at it this morning, and it's still bad.
I was laughing because I texted you on Friday because I thought that was bad, and then
now it's gone down twice since then.
Yeah, we had an expanded limit day to day.
That's so strange. The expanded, here's the limit, but you can also go past that limit.
You got to earn it first. You got to get to the first limit, but it's
tough.
It is tough. It's a volatile market, and when a market gets up here, it's very sensitive. It had a lot of good news priced in it. And
I feel like there's more. There is more. It is more important than ever to be able to market your cattle and know the market. Not necessarily go to Superior, but know your genetics, know how much they're weighing, and then I can go to you, and I can go to Superior, and I can go to Oklahoma City and market them to all of them. Whereas because of the market volatility, you have to know those things.
Yeah. I mean, and that's where kind of the niche for us comes in is like, you know, you have a couple of bad days and you're like, man, I may keep going, but the next Superior sale's not for 2 weeks. And I mean,
Is that when the next one is?
they have them every 2 weeks.
Every 2
I think they actually have one on Thursday, but you're kind of
be
stuck.
interesting. Yeah.
You know, you can't
You're just
do
sitting there.
anything. And at that day, they might do a good job marketing your cattle, but it's not what you wanted.
Right. If you got to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, this leads us to one of my favorite segments. It's called the Ag Gear Hot Seat. And because you're not wearing ag gear today, might get a little hot. Might get a little hot. But go to Ag Gear online. Use discount code Tucker Brown. Get 15% off ag gear. Mike's not even wearing it.
Yeah.
Come on, Mike.
Come on,
Nah.
come on, Mike. Hey, you're wearing the cap.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Actually,
wearing the-
saved myself.
That's right.
You didn't even know it.
Didn't even know it.
Now we do have quite a few questions on here about the market, but
Figured those were coming.
We're gonna skip those for now. What's one lesson you've learned while being an ag that's helped you immensely in life?
No question. It's the core of our business. Your word is all you have. You know, I mean, the dollar amount would blow your mind, and it's all handshake deals. It's unbelievable, and the cattle have to be what they're supposed to be when they show up to the feed yard, and these guys have to represent them correctly. And Jason and I were talking about it. I mean, so this market's run, before it came off, but it had run, $100 100, and I've only had, one bad deal from guys walking away from cattle. I mean, to me, it just speaks volumes about this business we're in.
Mm-hmm.
We picked some cattle up the other day. I did the math. The guy was 100. He had sold them maybe at the very beginning of the year. He was $127 100 behind. He had sold them 100.
The cattle were
yes,
behind?
Yeah, 100. And he shipped good loads and got his head count. And he was just, to him at that day when he sold them, it was a good price.
Yeah.
But, he didn't try to retrade or say some ran away or died or whatever. And, to me, that's, I think in any business, your word is all you have. So I would say to me that no-brainer that, and I've learned that, I was raised like that, but I've also just seen how few people do it, honestly.
Yeah.
And, do what they say, and we've kept good people around, so.
You on the road a lot?
Yeah, I used to be a lot more. Now I've gotten to where I do a lot of the selling, and I kind of have to be, sitting in an office, kind of behind it, sitting still. It's hard when you're out shipping and all of that. So usually I try to get someone that works for us to go ship, and and two, I'm kind of rude because I'm like on my phone the whole time while we're shipping, and I'm not paying that good of attention because I'm trying to field phone calls. So.
Make another deal.
Yeah, and these guys rely on you that carry your checkbook. I mean, they need you to be there every day for, be 100% every day. So I've kind of gotten to where if I go ship, I like to ship on Saturdays. My phone's not ringing. It's quiet. It's nice. Yeah, Saturday or Sunday.
Well, whenever you were on the road, what was your go-to stop? Whether it was fast food or Allsup's burrito. Or
Allsup's burrito is hard to beat.
Yeah, you dang right.
And they're always open.
Always, baby. As we're looking across at one right.
I know. You got my mouth watering now. Although they get a little stale this time of day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to catch them just right. But
Yes,
that's spoken from a true fan of Allsup's burritos. Like, no, you can't get them after 2:00 because then you know too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fresh at like 6:00 in the morning, but then they'll kind of make another batch in the afternoon.
Right.
And but yeah, this is always a rough time of day.
It
You would
is.
think they would make them at lunch or something, some
think
fresh
so.
ones, but they never do.
We did. I have had one cool deal. We were coming back from going to a Texas Rangers game. Me and 3 or 4 buddies. and we were just going to drive back that night. We go to a 7 o'clock game. You know, it's late. We're leaving Weatherford Mineral Wells, and it's the Allsup's on this side of Mineral Wells.
Yeah.
We pull in there 12:02, and this guy's, you know, he's putting all these burritos in a bag, and we're getting ready to buy some, obviously.
Yeah.
And he goes, we're like, what are you doing with those? And he's like, well, I was about to throw them away. And we were like, why? He said, well, they've been in here I have to throw them away at midnight. And we were like, what if you threw them away on the counter and let us have them? He was like, sure. And we just knew as we left with like 12 burritos.
Yeah.
And we just, like, we thought it was the best idea ever. And, you know, the next morning we wake up and we were like, will we regret this?
Probably.
Thankfully, I never regretted it. I don't know if any of my buddies ever did, but apparently if you walk in at that Allsup's at 12:02 after midnight,
I'm going to try it this
you
one.
could get you
See if
free
it's a
burrito.
cheat code.
There might be.
That's good to know. That's Palapena County
Yeah,
right there. So
yeah, right in
just a
your,
little
right in your
past my
stomping
bed.
grounds.
Just a little past my bedtime now.
It's true. Yeah, yeah. That's the truth. Well, welcome out of the hot seat. Unless you got a hot seat question.
Yeah, I got one.
Oh no! Just when he thought it was over.
I didn't like that. He smiled when he grabbed that phone.
Would you rather deal with a pushy seller or a picky buyer?
Oh man,
Oh, good question.
that is
Apparently,
a good question. Ooh.
if you got more like that, you just
Yeah.
line them up.
Keep going.
I'd rather deal with a picky buyer.
Picky buyer.
Yeah, I kind of know how to handle them. They all get picky at some point.
Yeah.
But you kind of know, you know, they know what to expect from you. You know what to expect from them. So the pushy sellers will kind of wear on you sometimes. The pushy ones, sometimes all you can do is all you can do.
And that's
And
it.
it no matter how good it is, it's never good enough for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to take a picky buyer, and I've got a couple in my mind right now, but I'm not going to I'm not going to share their names.
Pictured them for sure.
Yeah, and they know who they are too.
Any more? Good one.
Let's see. That's a new one.
I've wanted to use that sound for a while. I've just never found not that was a good time to use it, but
Would you rather buy a pen of calves in person or bid online at a sale?
Oh, definitely in person.
In person.
I mean, you know, in person, you can see all of them. You can see the way up. You can kind of see the tail, the age, you know, just kind of everything you look for. But online, you can do it a lot more efficiently. You can buy a lot more cattle, do it a lot quicker. But yeah, in person, you do a better job, and it's more fun in person.
Yeah.
You know,
get to make that network.
yeah, you get to look over at the guy you're bidding against, and
Yeah.
how far are you going to go, bud?
I bet that is an interesting feeling. Well, welcome out of the hot seat. You made it through. I need to talk ag gear into getting my guest a shirt.
That would be
I know I'm
pretty neat.
sweating. I'm sweating. I
He's
need one of those
sweating.
ag gear shirts.
Yeah, don't forget, go to online. They just got some new jackets out too.
Yeah, they did.
Which I've loved the new jacket. Get the shirt, get the jacket, and even some underwear. FYI, great Christmas presents. Use discount code Tucker Brown and get 15% discount, or Michael's discount.
Mike Outdoors.
You had to think about it.
Yeah,
Mike Outdoors.
that's right.
There you go. Well, this takes us to one of my favorite segments as we
Lord.
get out of this one. This one, we're going to find out what's tough about your job. Welcome to the Bedrock Tough Question, brought to you by Bedrock Truck Beds. The toughest truck beds there are, and that's why we use them. Get one today and find out for yourself. And now back to the Bedrock Tough Question. Okay, the Bedrock Tough Question. We've got Bedrock truck beds on almost all of our ranch rigs now. So if you need a truck bed that's tough, there's a bunch of them out there. You need one that's tough, get a Bedrock truck bed. Toughest thing about buying cattle?
Oh, man. I'd say one of the hardest things has been kind of what's happened recently.
Oh.
When you see, because
Is this gonna pull us into that conversation?
I'm going to try to keep us out of it as long as I can avoid talking about that. But, one of the hardest things is, all of us live, sleep, eat this business. And, when you see guys that paid too much for something, and we're all friends and know each other's kids well, know each other's families. And when you see someone kind of get upside down, that's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Even if you kind of have your stuff covered, just, seeing some of these other guys get a little upside down is always, see them get in the hot seat.
Sure.
It's just, that's hard because, we're all, like I said, we're all friends. We all, see each other at ranch rodeos and, everything else. It's just, that's probably the hardest thing. And that's the hardest, just all of us are close. So anytime anyone struggles, you feel it too.
Yeah. No, that's a good answer. It's a good answer. It makes, sometimes I've heard that cattle buyers don't have a heart, but here you are.
We have a little one occasionally, so.
It's the dad in you coming out.
Yeah, I guess. But then there's some of them that probably get what they deserve occasionally.
Yeah. We do have to lay in the bed we make.
That's right.
That's part of it. You reap what you sow, good or bad.
Yeah.
Literally says it in the Bible.
That's right.
Reap what you sow. You're involved in TSCRA.
Yeah.
I should have asked this in the hot seat. But here we go. Let me look this one up. This is from one of your YCC affiliates, co-goers,
Yeah.
friends. I don't know what you want to call. Young Cattlemen's Conference attendee that went with you from Kentucky.
Okay. Oh, Lord.
In the hot seat, Nelly said, "Sup." That was his question.
Okay.
Sup. That was all. Okay. Here we go. How much did you win at the casino on the YCC trip for the pack?
How did that story get back? I think I'd won about $3,500. We had taken a late night Uber because it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Of course, yeah. It sounded like it ended like a good idea.
Yeah.
It always seems like a good idea at the time. If nothing else, it makes for a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me and Mike Schwark from Iowa, and we decided to go to the casino, and I went on a heater, and we stayed there too late, and we get back to the hotel, and my roommate was Sarge, who was the head of the Georgia prison system's farms. So I get in, and he goes, he was actually waking up when I was getting in, and he goes, "You all right?" I go, "Sarge, I think I'm all right." I said, "I'm going to lay down on this bed for about 30 minutes and get a nap while you shower and get dressed." Okay. I laid down, and when you're awoken out of a deep sleep and you kind of panic?
Fly up, yeah.
Well, I did that, and I go, "What time is it?" And he goes, "It's 9 o'clock." And luckily, it was the one day we were in the hotel, and I was like, "Oh, gosh, I'm never going to hear the end of this." And so I walked down in that room, and I had that
fine guy?
What?
Was he the
Yeah,
fine guy?
Yeah.
The guy who ended up
no, he wasn't. But when I walked in that room, everyone was the fine guy. I got a standing ovation. I don't think I've ever been that embarrassed in my life. And
That's
I was like,
hilarious.
"Oh my gosh!" And so whoever the fine guy was stood up, and he goes, "Well, I heard we're getting a significant donation to the pack." So I had to donate all the money I won back, and Anyways, yeah,
That's
that
awesome. That's a good YCC
yeah, I
story.
think that was the only thing that made it like morally okay.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think
you
I was
did it
more
for the
upset.
pack, right?
Well, I think I was more upset that I slept in. But I got my hour or 2 hours of sleep in, I
good
guess.
not.
So you donated the money back?
I donated all the money back. Everywhere we were trying to raise money, and I was having some scaries the next day, and I was like, you know what, this will make it right.
Yeah.
So I donated it all back.
That a boy. Man, what'd you think of YCC?
Man, I loved it. That was, I have Chance McLean, and he's from Benedict, Nebraska. We still talk every day. I mean, he's one of my really good friends. And, but a lot of those guys that, I still talk to
Yeah.
quite a bit that I never knew before and all that. So, I highly recommend it.
Oh, for sure. It was one of the best things I ever did.
Yeah, it was fun, but it was very educational.
Yeah.
And
Well, what I loved about it is that, was there plenty of education? Absolutely. But they treated you like adults, too.
yeah,
It's like, we know you're coming here. We know you want to have a good time. You go have a good time. But if you're late, there are consequences.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not consequences that are going to, unless the consequences are needed for something super bad. But, like, you stayed out too late, you're back, you owe a fine.
yeah,
Jump back in on the fun.
yeah.
And that's what I like about it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you paid your fine, you're in.
Yeah,
You're back.
yeah. No, they handle it perfectly.
Yeah.
You can have as much or little fun as you want.
Yep.
And it's a marathon.
You dang right. Holy cow.
It's a marathon.
You know, I tend to go out. That's where a lot of business gets done at conventions.
Yeah.
Is outside of the convention.
I agree.
And because I'll have a booth and, we'll talk and I'll have some people come up to the booth, but then the moment a few people get a couple silver bullets in them, they come up. I've been thinking about buying some of your bulls, but they're too expensive. That conversation happens rather than at the booth in the convention.
Yeah.
And so either that or they just talk to you and then stop by the booth the next day and you have that conversation. So
Yeah.
helps with business and it's fun.
Well, and you're kind of a celebrity. When people see you outside of the booth, when they see you outside of the booth, they're like, man, I want to go talk to that guy.
It's a target on my back is what I'm afraid it is. But YCC is that way. Like during the day, like you are working.
all day.
All day you're working, 7 to 7. Man, you are working and grinding and learning. And then after that, go have fun.
Yeah.
And that's where I got to learn more about the people I was with. The
Yeah.
other 65 other studs. Like I was living my little dream. Besides coming back, eating way too much, maybe drinking way too much.
Yeah.
And not getting enough sleep for 10 days. That was tough.
That was. I think I slept for 2 days when I got home.
Yeah. For real. But where I meant to go with that was your involvement in TSCRA. Feels like there's a lot of this next generation coming into ag wanting to be involved in state affiliates, whether it's state affiliates or local or national. Any advice there?
You got to reach out and get involved. And luckily, Jason was on the board of directors, got put on kind of right before I started working for him. And he drugged me. It's one of the best things he ever taught me was he would take me somewhere and then he would walk off and go somewhere else. And I'm like in this room with a ton of people
Left
I've
alone.
never met. And you just got to walk up and meet people. And, but you got to reach out. But then next thing I know, I got to know a few people and know a few more people. And then they were like, hey, will you, serve on this committee or whatever? And I always, there's a couple of guys that aren't involved in cattle raisers that should be. And I've reached out and I said, next time we have a task force or committee, you're on it. You're smart, young, we need some fresh blood in there. And, just like I said, reach out. And
Yeah.
people want help. Trust me, they'll put you on a committee.
Oh yeah.
They're always looking for some
want to.
free help, but
Yeah.
but you get into it and like cattle raisers is awesome. I have a ton of friends in there now and we've served on every committee, under the sun and
What committee are you on now?
I am on the membership development committee. But I was on, they had a task force kind of for youth development, and it ended up, we met like every other week or every week on Zoom and met in person, and it ended up becoming a standing committee, and it just does a lot of things, and it kind of focuses towards getting these young people in the door and really getting them involved, because you know, I mean, showing up to convention, that's awesome, but, you know, these sharp young people, I mean, the sad thing is you and I are, technology-wise, we're 10 or 15 years behind.
Yeah.
You know, what some of these younger people can do and the way they think, and so, I mean, I've always said I want more of them on our committees.
Right.
Because they're the next generation.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was fun being a part of that task force. I didn't know
Yeah, I
it would
forgot
lead
you
into,
were, yeah, I forgot you were on it.
I didn't know it would lead into like that becoming a committee.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool that it is, and now that's the one I'm on. Is
Yeah.
the youth development, or I don't know the official words actually. I probably should.
Yeah, well, it was
Youth
leadership development.
leadership
Yeah, I
development.
forgot you were on that committee. That was a good committee.
Oh yeah, with
Lou
yep,
and Carlos and James,
Gilly.
Gilly, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'll tell you one thing I've with Gilly is he was always so good at mentoring young people and getting them, holding their hand and getting them in the door. And I mean, because when you're young, you don't know what to do. When
No,
you
it
show
is
up,
scary.
you don't know anyone. It's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. And he was always so good at that. And you know, I try to be like that a little bit. And I know I'm not the best, but you know, just help some of these younger people that are getting out.
You know, Alabama has a pretty cool deal that I think we ought to look into. What is it called that you were into?
It's YCLP. It's the Youth Cattlemen's Leadership Program.
Isn't it like 2 years or something? 1 year?
Yeah, just a little under a year.
A little under a year?
Yeah, so it's you get nominated. So I think the max is 28 or 30, somewhere around there.
Dang.
And your county nominates you, and you represent your county as the youth leader. And so you put on deals for the youth, try and get them more involved in ag and the Cattlemen's Association. Pretty cool.
And don't y'all meet? Like once you're on YCL,
Once
you have
every
to do
other
that
month.
every other month. But you have to do that to go on YCC, Hunter. Like you have to be a
Oh.
part of that program. Then you can get nominated to go to YCC.
Huh.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool because with
Yeah, that's
TSCRA right now, there's not that
No, that's
involvement before. You know.
Yeah, that's a great idea. There used to be when
There
it was YLS. That's you had to go to all those
Oh.
YLS events and stuff,
yeah.
but it kind of fell apart, and then they kind of revamped it. But I think we already had people to go because it got canceled like 3 years in a row, so people were kind of backed up.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
love.
a good idea. We need to bring that
I
up.
like. I like that a lot. It is a little easier for them because the size of Texas gives us some problems there.
Oh yeah,
You
that
still kind
Alabama
of
doesn't
region
have.
it.
Oh, you can, and that's what they're able to do.
Yeah.
Is regionalize it, but we would definitely have to.
Yeah.
On the Texas side. So, I guess back into the hot seat a little bit.
Uh-oh.
What do you think about the cattle market?
Whew. It's gotten beat up, you know, the past 10 days. It's
Yeah.
crazy how much they've taken off of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously some things were said, and they're trying to do some other things, and but the fundamentals really of the market haven't changed. You know, I mean, the cattle on feed
Right.
hasn't changed, and all of that. So, you know, if you do the opposite of what I tell you, you'll make a lot of money. So if I tell you it's going up, short it, and if I tell you it's going down, you better get long.
Yeah, and you don't have to tell us. Well, the cool thing is you and I are going to go to an event directly after this, and we're going to have Cattle Facts tell us what to do. We
Yeah.
should have done this podcast after that. But, you know, we'll see
Yeah,
how
we'd have
smart-
sounded a lot more
Bowie event?
educated.
Huh?
it's in Bowie that you were talking about this morning.
Yeah.
Bowie.
Yeah, yeah.
There's,
Yeah, so
there's
that'll be-
Alabama in them.
There's that
Bowie.
Alabama. I got to Bowie, Texas.
Isn't that where that livestock deal is with the zebras and stuff?
I have no idea.
Oh, the sale. Yeah, I think they
horse
have a
sale?
sale up there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
I
it's
know
a
they have
horse.
a Bowie
They'll
horse
sell
sale.
like kangaroos and wild stuff, and they do it on TikTok Live.
Really?
Pretty neat deal.
I did not know that.
Wonder if the prices of kangaroos have gone up with beef.
Interesting thought. Never thought about it. But I did get a good question. And we don't have, you don't have to give a hard answer on this, but it is a kind of make your mind think, whether you agree or disagree with this statement / question. From a TCU grad,
Okay.
Jackson Carroll, if you remember him.
Yeah.
He interned with us. Why did all the associations come together? And we're talking about this whole Trump-Argentina thing.
Uh-huh.
Just to clear the water, if you didn't know. Trump's saying he's going to import more Argentina beef. It hurts the market 3 days in a row, 4 days.
Yeah, maybe
5 days?
5, yeah.
So why did all the associations come together to help ignite the fire of fear for cattlemen if more imports come through, which will only hurt cattlemen and feedlots and not box beef prices, where the packer might need to adjust prices to help the consumer?
You know, I mean, the cattle organizations are all representing primarily cow-calf guys. So obviously they're against these, additional imports. I mean, just simple supply and demand, you put more, box beef, import more meat and, it's going to go down. But like I've said, which they traded some lower live cattle this morning in the north, which kind of surprised me. But last week, I mean, the cash was still strong, which told me that, you're still short of cattle and that the packers, really what I thought when they announced that they were going to import, 80,000 metric tons of Argentinian beef. It hurt the packer more than anyone, was, just because we still have the leverage with the reduced numbers,
Yeah.
I mean, the feeder, the stocker operator and the cow-calf guy still had the leverage, but one thing that's kind of hurt it is I think that spooked the funds, and the funds kind of got out, and everyone
The
hates
CME?
or just the Goldman Sachs, McVain's, the stuff, that aren't using the futures for hedging, and everyone hates them. The funds did that,
Yeah.
the funds did that, but to me, the funds are a big reason that feeders went to 380.
Right.
It wasn't me and you buying contracts making it go, and then cash was following through. So
Well, take a look at that for a moment. That's the Oklahoma, what sold today.
yeah, it's a lot softer.
A lot softer. Interesting.
Yeah, but I think sometimes when the market sells off like this, the board, that people kind of panic for a minute
Yeah.
and just stop everything. It dips a couple of days and people kind of like, oh, this is an opportunity to buy them cheaper. And then when it sells off, it's sold off several $100s a head. And I think people just check up, go, okay, let's wait for this thing to
Yeah.
stabilize and see where we land.
Probably smart.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, to me, the fundamentals are still strong. Seems to me like the market might be pricing in reopening the Mexican border. With the meeting with the ag
Mexican
commissioner,
ag commissioner.
ag commissioner of Mexico, and
When was that? Was that today?
it was this week sometime. I was thinking it was Thursday, but maybe it was
Maybe.
it was this week sometime. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do there. I think
On the Mexican border?
you're still dealing with a parasite issue, and
Yeah.
I mean, to me it would be difficult to open it, without some very strict protocols, and we've tried that with Mexico before, and they couldn't
Fulfill that.
abide by it, and that's why we ended up with the screwworm, in very far north Mexico,
Right.
is because they didn't do it. So I don't know what they'll do.
I'm worried about, I'm sure I've seen the pictures and videos of stuff that they do as far as inspection at the border, Texas-Mexico border, and it's pretty stout.
Yeah,
Can some get through? I'm sure.
yeah,
I'm more worried about the wildlife carrying that across than I am cattle.
I think some of the thought process is if they're not going to cross them, they may not bring them to the border.
I agree. Like
Where-
shipping.
Yeah,
south
like
to
if
north.
if they're all standing at the border, then wildlife becomes a huge issue.
Yeah.
Because, that screwworm can be right there at the border and just get crossed by a deer or a hog or whatever. But, it's so hard to force Mexico to do, anything that they don't want to do. But I think now that's why the ag commissioner's coming over, because our prices are high enough. They're like,
We gotta get
we don't have, one, we don't have the infrastructure. And two, that's a big jump for them in prices.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing something, it was actually at the Zoetis Symposium, that they had in Arlington. It was, middle of the baseball season. So,
Yeah.
August,
Yeah.
July, middle of July, 1st of August. And they were talking about the screwworm, and it was really interesting to see their thoughts. And they had somebody come from the border and talk about it, which I wonder if they'll have somebody this time.
I bet they're going to have somebody to answer some questions.
Yeah. But I do like how they have these symposiums and where you and guys like you and I can go and learn about it, learn about the screwworm, learn about when it's coming, how we can prepare. But yeah, it was just interesting to see how, what do we do if that screwworm gets here? What do we have guidelines to where we shut traffic down from there? That's kind of scary.
It's very scary. It's very scary for someone like us, too, that we ship a lot of cattle from Texas to
Yeah.
Kansas, Nebraska,
Bunch
Colorado.
Bunch
Yeah,
of
a lot. A ton of cattle are fed in southwest Kansas now. And so, yeah, it's very scary.
I remember where I was going with that. But they said that the Mexican cattle rancher gets like $300 to $500 more depending on how old that animal is if they sell it in the U.S. rather than back to Mexico. Per head.
I guarantee you now it's way more than that.
Yeah, oh, yeah. With the oversupply now in Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I got a feeling cattle prices in Mexico aren't even close to what they
No.
are here.
Even with the fall off the last 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that Argentina deal, I don't know, it's tough. It is funny how nimble the market is because of things that Trump says.
Yeah. So it's basically 80,000 metric tons equates to, like 187,000 head of fat cattle. But, that's 2 days worth of kill. That's 2 days worth of fed kill. So it's not that much in the grand scheme of things, but, markets look for a reason to panic too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, somebody's taking advantage of that right now.
Yeah.
In buying some yearlings or something.
But, a volatile market a lot of times can present opportunities for people.
Uh-huh. Well, at the time, it's a risk.
It's a risk.
I heard that the other day. That's like, whenever we look back, they took the opportunity. But really, at the time, because buying cattle right now, there's a risk to that
There's a
with the
risk.
unknown market.
There's a risk.
Now, if it goes back up, like, man, Hunter took that opportunity.
Yeah.
You look smart.
When you're right, you look smart.
look smart.
When you're wrong, you look dumb.
Uh-huh.
I'm on the wrong side of it most of the time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but that's tough. I made a video on socials just trying to take out the emotion of the situation because there are a lot of ranchers that are very upset on what Trump said, and rightly so. But I never try to go to politics with emotion because then it's like they control you with it, and I don't like that. So I tried to take out the emotion, and I was like, well, let's look at the facts. We already do import from Argentina, Canada, Mexico, Brazil.
Australia's picked up a lot.
Australia, a lot. Like, we already import from these things. So those that are mad about the imports, like, that's been happening for a long time.
Yeah.
And now, then you get into the conversation of MCOOL and having, do we have that, not transparency, the tracking. What am I looking for? What's the right word?
Yeah, the
Traceability.
traceability.
Yeah, then you get into traceability, and then there's a lot of things that are really touchy subjects in the cattle market.
I know. I told you I was going to stay away from all of them.
Yeah, I know, right?
They tried to do cool, and really what they ended up finding out is
How do you describe him cool for someone who wouldn't know?
it's just country of label or, origin labeling where basically, they have to put on there where
Where it comes from.
Yeah, in the store, in the retail store, they have to put on there where it came from. And what they found out the first time, which is why they quit it, was people didn't really care, and
They weren't paying for the difference.
they weren't paying for the difference.
Huh.
If it was, $6 a pound for U.S. only and $5.25 for Argentina, most people were buying from the $5.25.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, one thing too that's changed with the newer generations coming up. I mean, I especially see it in Dallas is, people care about food now.
Oh, for
a
sure.
lot
More than ever in our lives.
Oh, I mean, people will pay for a story, and they want to know where their meat comes from or where their food, produce, whatever. And they'll pay for it. I mean, I talked to that buddy of mine, Chance McLean. They have a USDA packing plant, and I go, "How's the packing plant doing?" Which overall, the packer is not doing well right now.
Kinda hurting.
Yeah,
Kinda hurting
like
at the moment.
to the tune of $300 a head. They run 6,000.
Losing 300 a head?
Yeah, they run 6,000 of them a day through each one of those big plants. And I asked him, I go, how y'all hanging in there? He goes, man, it's great. He said the farm to table type places that are retailing meat, you do some of
Yeah.
that. He said, it's unbelievable. We're doing primarily all custom kills, and it's all people like that are selling, their home raised stuff or something like that. And they're selling it for double the price.
Yeah.
And people will pay for it because
Right.
they want the story. So I don't know if M Cool this time around will work or not, but
Yeah, are we in an atmosphere now where our consumer is ready for that, is ready to pay for it? Maybe we are.
Maybe, we'll see.
It's easy to say that when you see somebody selling that, but if you look at, is somebody in the average person living in an apartment in Chicago willing to
Yeah.
pay more?
And I
There's-
think that's
there's
what
a
they
lot of
found
those
out with Cool was that those people didn't,
Huh.
But, like I was telling a buddy of mine, you have a different consumer now that has, and I think even more, COVID exasperated it where
Yeah.
they have adopted a certain lifestyle and they don't want to change it. Mm-hmm. They may not have the disposable income, but they got a credit card, and eating is a very important factor
Yep.
in that. And people will
In their
pay a
lifestyle.
lot of money.
Lifestyle and fitness has gone up.
Yeah, they don't save anything. They live a certain lifestyle, and they want to live where they want to live. And I mean, in Dallas, living costs are unbelievably high now. But I mean, and they go out and eat 4 or 5
Yeah.
nights a week, and I mean, and it's unbelievably expensive. But that's what they want to do. That's how they spend their money.
That's wild.
Yeah, and they want to
you're
eat.
right in the
They
heart.
want to hear your story.
Yeah.
They want to hear about R.A. Brown. Yeah, oh yeah, I get my steaks from R.A. Brown's, and they got this ranch, and
A cool
I've
TikTok
seen
guy.
I've seen them on TikTok, and people pay for the story.
What do you think are some opportunities for young ranchers as far as other ways to make income on a ranch? Whether that's, that could be as simple as castrating your calves, or like those are other things too. But now we're talking about freezer beef. Are there some other options?
Yeah, it seems like everyone who does the freezer beefs is done well. Obviously the normal stuff you should be doing is castrating and giving shots and weaning, and then figuring out a good marketing avenue. And
But if somebody needed a marketing avenue, do you know someone they should call?
yeah, what was his, Ellison Carter? Is that who we were talking about? Yeah, no. And like I told you, I tell people if I think you can get more putting them on Superior, I'll tell you that straight up.
You've told me that.
Yeah, there's just, y'all have a badge,
Yeah.
through
On Superior.
it's just, I'm just honest with people. Like I said, if I can't get you more net than what you get somewhere else, there's no sense in me doing it. You know, I'll go be the YCC leader or something.
Come on.
You know, and I mean, there's so many opportunities now that people are doing that, I hate it with a passion, almost as much as I hate, you know, when they started putting up turbines. But, man, these solar leases these guys are putting up, I mean, they're creating generational wealth
Yeah.
from them. I mean, and I just always say you got to be, you know, keep up with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
You know,
It's an opportunity.
it's an opportunity and,
Or a risk.
or risk. But, you know, I mean, if you don't need the money, that's great. But, I mean, some of those leases are paying, you know, $1,800 an acre a year.
Dang.
I mean, like generational wealth. So, I mean, just to me, I think you always have to look around at all the opportunities. That's one good thing ranch management does is they make you do a whole plan
Yeah.
on an you know, and make you think outside of the box. What can I do with this piece of land? And so, yeah, and you know, use better bulls,
Come on.
good genetic, you know, I mean, just things like that. And like I've always said, you just got to run a, you know, cost benefit analysis of all those things. So, and then utilizing things, LRP, I mean, I think, you know, LRP is a heck of a program now, you know, I mean, especially
Livestock
for.
risk protection.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
what's
livestock risk protection, I mean, you can basically buy price insurance on
Yeah.
unborn calves out, so guess what, you can guarantee that next year's calf crop brings $2,000, I mean.
Pretty impressive.
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, and it costs you $100 a head. I mean, it doesn't change your break even or whatever. You don't pay it till the end. I mean, there's some tools you can utilize that I think people should be, you know, utilizing in a market like this too.
To protect yourself.
Yeah, and I mean, if you end up having to pay the $100 a head, that means you can turn around and spend another $100 and guarantee that next year's calf crop brings 2,000. You know, if it doesn't pay you out, then you can just turn around and spend another $100 and guarantee. So now you have 4 or 5 $2,000 calf crops, and you know, I mean, that puts you in a pretty good for, you know, 10, 20 years, really.
Yeah. Well, and that's just, I mean, with more market volatility, those things are so important.
Yeah. I mean, you got to take advantage of it while it's here. You know,
Dang.
and it may stay. I don't know. You know, I mean,
It
people are getting out of the business and land's not available, and you got the wildlife exemption, you know, which it's been in place for a long time. But, you know, you got people going towards that, and so the prices may stay up here. But, you know, if you can spend a little bit of money and guarantee that next year's going to be good too.
Dad always likes to say it's hard to go broke making a profit.
It's hard to go broke making. Only I can do that.
Only Hunter Crow. Only Hunter Crow. Well, as we wrap up here, anything else you wanted to touch on before we started wrapping up?
No, I don't think I have anything else.
Well, okay, 2 questions here. For any young person, I get asked all the time on social media, I want to get into ranching. What is your advice to someone who's not in ranching, maybe grew up in Dallas, wants to get into ranching? What's your advice? The face you're making right now is cracking me up.
It's a couple of, you know,
You can go a couple different
they
directions.
go to TCU Ranch Management.
Yeah.
And then I love Arthur Rule always quotes, the world is run by people who show up.
Good one.
And I think there's a lot of truth to that, whether you're an older person trying to be a leader or you're a young person trying to learn, that, you know, the people who show up learn and the people who show up teach. And so show up to cattle raisers, show up to these Zoetis symposiums, show up to, you know, anything and everything that they offer. And before you know it, you'll walk into the room and know everyone in there.
It doesn't take long.
But you got to get started.
That's the first step.
No,
sure.
you know, no better than.
All right, so if somebody were already out of the college phase, which TCU isn't necessarily, you don't have to be college age to go. I mean, we had Mark Voss.
Mark
He was
Voss.
46, 44, something, whenever he went through. but I always seem, they're like, I just want to go to work now. Where do I go? And I always say, go to that foreman training program that the feed yards have.
Oh, before they go to ranch management?
No, like they just want to go straight to work. They can't stop to, they're in a different lifestyle. Like they may already have a family or something to where they don't want to go to TCU yet. I probably get more of those people than I do.
Yeah, the feed yard's a
Students.
good place to learn a lot and see a lot.
And you get paid.
And you get paid, yeah. And feed yards are always looking for help,
Yeah, you dang right.
you know.
Always.
And we're always looking for someone up there. And
Where's yours at?
it's in Lebanon, Kansas, so it's central
Kinda Middle
Kansas
East.
on the Nebraska line. It's actually 2 miles south of the geographic center of the continental United States.
That's only, you would have to live in Lebanon to know that. Like, you'd have to
That's
have
about all
something
they
up
got
there.
going.
Yeah.
The world's largest ball of twine is about 30 miles south of there.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big stuff.
Big stuff going on over there.
That's funny. All right. And then best life advice or favorite Bible verse or both?
You know, what is it? Philippians, I can do all things.
4:13.
Yeah, through Christ who strengthens me. Probably my favorite, you know. At the end of the day, I mean, without God, in this business, you'll need to talk to God a lot more than
Yeah.
normal places. But, yeah, that's my favorite one. It's your whole life, you know. And then my best piece of advice would be honest no matter what, no matter whether it's to your detriment, no matter whether it hurts. Being dishonest one time can tarnish your whole reputation. Just be honest, you know, do what you're going to say what you're going to do, and be a man of your word, man or woman of your word, and, you know, at the end of the day, that's all you have.
Yeah,
That's
good
right.
advice.
So,
Good advice. You know, I heard it said the other day about that Philippians 4:13. The guy said, you know, we hear all the times God won't give you more than you can take or more than you can handle. And the guy was like, that is such a lie. Like, he allows us to have those things that we can't handle so that we know we need him.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so we
ooh.
depend on him.
I hadn't thought
yeah,
about that.
That is good.
I hadn't thought about that. Like, yeah, kind of us guys who may have some trouble with pride thinking we can do it by ourselves. And then being like,
Dang.
Yeah,
all right, yeah, that makes sense. I thought it was good.
yeah.
Well, Hunter Crow, the cattle buyer, tell your family hello.
Henry, Cameron, and Kate,
Come on. That's
hope
crazy.
y'all enjoyed it.
That's crazy. We're all dads and stuff now.
I know. Well, I told you I got a little girl on the way, right?
Yeah, you did.
I need some advice.
Yeah, I got plenty of advice there. Yeah, I can do that. That's hilarious. No,
And I will, I don't even, I mean, I've mentioned his name 20 times, and I'm going to get to the end and not say anything, but I just got to say boatloads of thank you to Jason Harlow for,
oh yeah,
you know, everything he's done for me. He's been a great mentor, is a great friend. We've had a lot of fun, had some tough times, and have learned. And then Huey's our heart and soul of our operation. He's our bookkeeper, truck dispatcher. I mean, he's great. And then we got two new guys, Colby and Ethan, both ranch management guys.
nice.
I think we've kind of gone to.
Kind of gone that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, only ranch management alums. I mean, they're sharp guys. I've enjoyed having them. Then I'd already mentioned Cole. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone, but
I'm sure they'll let you know if you did.
I guarantee you so. But I just wanted to mention them. I mean, Huey can do the job of 20 people, so
That's cool.
he keeps Jason.
So
and
if
I in
anybody
line.
wants to sell cattle, they call you.
You can call me. Call me, and like I said, I'll shoot you straight.
He'll at least offer you a price.
Yeah. Yeah, you may not like it that day, but you might like it the day after.
Yeah.
But it may not be there now. But
Hey, that's the nature of the
no,
business. Huh?
call me. Like I said, I've always, Don McCauley says, I'm always cheering for the little guy, and I kind of took that to heart. So
Yeah.
I'm always trying to but I can't get more than what the market is.
Yeah, you can't lose money, right?
But I
I
think
mean, you can. But
Yeah, I can usually do a pretty good job. So
that's cool. Well, thanks for being on the pod, dude. It's fun to have you.
yeah, it's good to see you.
Go from going to TCU and rooming and driving together to
We spent a lot of time together.
being on dads and stuff. I'll give you girl advice here in a little bit. But
I can't wait
That's
for it.
off
I need
record.
all I can get.
that's off record. You've been listening to the Registered Ranching podcast. Hey, Alabama comes up. Seems like in every episode.
It sure does.
Roll
Becoming the
Tide.
thing. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Tucker Brown, Michael Scott, thanks for hanging with us. Episode 51, right behind Dale Brisby.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Go to registeredranching.com, get you some merch. We'll get you a hat before we get you out of here. Thanks for tuning in. A couple things, don't forget that we love you. God bless. Most of all, y'all stay classy and ranch on them. You ever been to a place called Good Nights?
Been there.
You been there?
Yeah. Been there many a time.
Good steakhouse.
Great steakhouse.